Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever the time is where you are. So today we are looking at a sort of tower defense game with an incremental element called Waves Are Very Erosive. Now this is a game that is very early in its lifespan. It is a game jam game for, I think it is called Game Off 2025. A jam that is currently, I think, in its voting state. So yeah, bear that in mind that this is a game jam game quite early in its career. But I thought I would showcase it off anyway, even for its early state, because I found this game very sort of aesthetically pleasing. I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe we'll figure that out as we play through it. But just something about it I found compelling. I found enjoyable. I found just the way it was laid out, the way it was designed. It's very much in an unbalanced state. It needs a lot of polish and things like that, but it is weirdly satisfying. And we're going to have a look now at the gameplay, but let's have a look at the tutorial button. Just gives us a big lump of text that tells us how the game is played, and we have a settings button with various settings that I found excellent. Full score plus bonus to the developer for the settings page. It has its quality of life controls for sounds and a bunch of other buttons as well that are very nice to see, including the full screen button. It didn't have the little full screen thing in the bottom right corner that itch.io games normally have. You just have to open the settings and click full screen, and it makes it full screen. So we are going to jump in to the game, and I'll show off some gameplay, and do give it some critique afterwards, but not too much critique because of its the state and the nature of the game, and that'll be it. That is the plan for this video. So let's jump in and have a look at the gameplay, and I'm going to be probably losing quite badly because I need to explain the UI and all of that kind of stuff, so maybe we'll run it for a little bit and then just restart to actually play properly. So, this is us in the middle of the screen. This is our spotlight going around, and these waves are coming in to do damage to our island. And as the waves are hit by the light, they disappear, and we get some currency for it. You can see the currency up at the top right here is our light. But as the waves hit the island, they chip away at it and sort of break out chunks. And then once they get through the island and start hitting the lighthouse, they will start doing damage to the lighthouse. If you see in the top left, there is our health. If you see in the top middle, there's energy, and we have no energy at the moment because we've spent it all. What we need to do is click on the lighthouse, and the energy comes back, and we are able to get our lights swinging around again. Then we have waves of waves, so the waves are coming in waves. As you can see, this is now wave 2. We're missing a lot of them at the moment because of the way our lighthouse is just a thin beam of light that rotates quite slowly, but we will fix that shortly, because on the right here we have upgrades. So we have the currency. Our currency is just called light, and as we hit the waves with the thing, we make more light and things like that. And that's essentially where we get the ability to buy upgrades. And we have 4 tiers of upgrades. So we have the offensive tier, which does the damage and the speed and the amplitude of our spinning light. We have our defensive upgrades, which will give us shield and shield capacity and all of that kind of stuff. And then we have financial upgrades, so we can make more light in various ways. And then we have our ability to generate energy upgrade, which will give us more energy as we do. As we can see, we're losing at the moment. I don't know what actually happens when you lose. So let's see. We just get a straight game over. Can we then click out of it? No, he hasn't given us the ability to actually reload the game. So let's escape out. Let's just reload the map. Run the game. Go into the settings to give us full screen. And now we will start and try and play the game properly and see if we can not die this time, and show off how the gameplay flows. Not too much, because we do then want to go through the critiques, and I don't want to ruin it too much for you guys to come and give this a play, and hopefully we can encourage the dev to balance it out and build it a lot better well, not build it a bit better, but I mean just give us more of a complete game that is broader and deeper to play. That is my hope, because, as I said, I find this game aesthetically very pleasing, and I would like to see more of it built outwards. So, we need to keep our energy up, and if we switch to the energy page, we need 250. So let us keep this going until we can generate 250. Because I don't want to keep clicking all the time. Actually, let us broaden the light amplitude and speed the rotation speed. Let's get some beam length out there as well. Alright, so we've spent all our money. We've taken a little bit of damage to the island, but I am furiously clicking the energy back up a bit, so hopefully we can make money a little bit quicker now. And buy energy generation, which is what I'm wanting to work up to, so I don't have to keep clicking this to keep the energy up. Because I don't like clicking in incremental style games, and this is very much an incremental style game. But at least we've got our lights spinning fast enough. Oh, we've made lots of money there. Alright, I'm not concentrating. So we need to buy some energy collection there, and as you can see, our energy is now going up all by itself. And we can buy some efficiency as well, so we're not using as much energy. That should keep our energy styling and happy there. And then we can, now I don't need to click anymore. We can start looking at our more aggressive upgrades. And yeah, see, I think we have reached the point. Like I said, this game isn't very well balanced because it is just produced for a game jam, so we have already reached the point in which we are surviving without much risk, without much threat. We can boost our income, I think. We can buy some passive income as well. I do like passive things in games like these. I just want to get to the point where we have absolutely dominated the space here. Now, one thing I have noticed, it's a bit of a bug, is that as we gain enough money for something to be purchasable, sometimes the buttons don't light up. You actually have to click away from the tab and then back to the tab again. This is very obviously a bug that I'm sure the developer will figure out in due course. Alright, we've got plenty of energy now. Let's get some efficiency maxed out. Should be more than good enough now, so let us buy some more amplitude and a little bit more beam length. I think we are already dominating the space, but why not expand it out a bit? I mean, look at that, how beautiful is that? And this is kind of what I find satisfying about this game. This kind of idea of, you know, the threats coming in from all directions, but we are swinging about and dealing with them. And I'm not sure what that says about my psychology and mental health and those kinds of things, but I do find it, yeah, satisfying. Very, very satisfying. Very, very enjoyable, as I said. I mean, nothing is reaching us now, and that is fantastic. Look at all that money we've made. This is quite nice. We can very, very slowly repair our island. We've bought the auto builder, which should put the pixels back, so the damage done at the beginning of the game will be undone very, very slowly. We can also buy a full reconstruction of the island, but yeah, I don't think we need to buy that. It's not necessary at this point. Buy some regeneration for our shields if they ever get hit. Let's see if we can boost our money a little bit more. Alright, so we've got our money coming in pretty quickly there, I think. As we kill waves, there's passive income and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, that is satisfying and good looking and very enjoyable. Energy collection is absolutely fine. We can boost our efficiency a bit more there. I like the idea of light interest as well. So if we have light, we actually make interest on our light. So the more light we have, the faster we get more light, because it just gives us an interest based on our total. And that is not something I've seen in a game like this before, and I like that a lot. Let's expand out the amplitude. We're doing well there. Let's give the length a bit bigger. So now we have this huge thing swinging around. Obviously, a sort of a good balance mechanism that I don't think he has implemented is the bigger and wider the light, the longer it is, the more energy it should be taking. So I should have to keep buying more energy stuff, but at this point it doesn't seem to be implementing that at all in any way. So yeah, I'm sure that is an update he will make, possibly post Game Jam, to get this to work. This is a very large wave coming in. Oh, we can actually get our light interest now. It's 0.1% of our total light, so it's not much, but it's enough. It's something. Let's buy some core crystal just to really get it there. Let's max that out as well, as we have another wave coming in. I have no idea if there's actually an end to this at any point, if there's an ending, or if it's just an infinite progression of more and more waves coming in. Possibly the game will just grind itself to a halt at that point. We do have an FPS meter down at the bottom there, which is nice. Let's boost the amplitude. I wonder if we can get it to go all the way around. I mean, we're almost halfway already. Yeah, I think that's all the gameplay I need to show. I think you guys are seeing where it's going and how we reach the sort of the absolutely passive point eventually. I mean, it stops being a tower defense and just becomes an incremental at this point. Just try and make the numbers bigger, which is fine. I mean, that's perfectly good gameplay. I like it. It is a little weird to have the game that shifts from one mode to another like that. It's a little bit kind of bait and switchy, but yeah, no, it works. It's still fun. It's still satisfying to play, and I think it's for a game jam, and I assume is doing well in it, because, like I said, it is aesthetically pleasing, especially to certain mindsets. So I like it. Alright, so if you were just here for the gameplay, I hope this has satisfied you. I hope you will come and play the game. The link will be in the description. I hope you will like this video if you liked it, or dislike it if you disliked it. But please leave me a comment telling me either way what you liked, what you disliked, any thoughts you might have on the game, anything else you might want to see me play. The comments are one of the big things that I live for here. So the more you leave for me, the more my heart warms. And if you want to see more sort of indie games reviewed, showcased, this kind of thing, well, then drop a subscribe, because I do one a day pretty much. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from you guys that you want to see more indie games, because I will be showing more indie games. But I do want to make the channel better for you, so let me know what you would rather see. So if you are just here for the gameplay, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. If you are here for the critiques, however, well, the UI is okay. The tutorial, I suppose, is a tutorial. It tells you about all the things, but I don't think people really like big text blobs as a tutorial. So yeah, an actual in-game tutorial would be a lot nicer. game doesn't really need much of a tutorial. It is quite understandable, but as I've always said before, you need to make a tutorial for people who don't know anything about playing games. So make it idiot proof, and that will be a very successful tutorial. Also, tutorials are important because the first few minutes of a game tends to set the player's opinion of that game. So even if the later parts of the game are bad, a positive beginning will make the player view it favorably, and even if the later parts are good, a negative beginning will make the player view it negatively. So yeah, tutorials are a really good way to make a very, very positive first experience with the game that will set the player's attitude about the game in general. Yeah, so tutorial, the rest of the UI is fine. It would be nice if it was a bit more themed and that kind of thing. There's the button. What are you? Oh, we actually have some statistics here. That's quite nice. It's weird that they're all grayed out and dark there. It would be nice if they were less so. As you can see, we have the bug where if you haven't clicked out of the tab and back into it, the buy buttons don't reactivate. So that is a bug that needs to be dealt with. It's not too serious a one. Also, in terms of the UI design, it would be nice if these tabs were more obviously tabs. I actually played for a little bit, just 30 seconds or so, not realizing that I had other options than these. What does lightning do? Just buy some of that up and see what happens. Yeah, obviously a lot of these later things aren't really needed, as the game very quickly reaches a point in which it is, unlosable. But that's fine. Obviously, a balance needs to be done, and that is a later thing that can be done to the game. But yeah, there are some nice features in here, some nice things that would be. Oh, could expand the island. That's quite pleasant. You can almost make the game more difficult for yourself by just moving the island closer to the enemies. Can we expand our beam length? Yep, we can cover the whole game screen. I don't know if there's any sort of ultimate limits to any of these. It might be something to consider implementing in, so you can only expand the beam so far, you can only widen it so far, those kinds of things. I don't know. This is very nice to be able to make this beam wider and wider. Yeah, we're greater than halfway now, so we are more than safe enough. There's no way any of these waves can reach us in the core. It is nice to have a game that allows you to get this far, so I don't want to recommend that that you take this element away from it. It just should be a bit harder to reach there. More things that you need to balance to kind of get to this point, because we got to it very, very quickly. But it would be nice to be able to reach this point just further into the game, and this kind of can be considered as sort of a soft ending, a soft end state of the game. That would be my recommendation to the devs. Try and keep that there. The sounds are nice. I mean, it is just the wave sounds. There's no music or anything like that, even though there are sound controls. So I'm guessing music or the equivalent is planned. There's no beeps or anything on the buttons, but yeah, again, it's a Game Jam game. I'm sure that is a planned later edition. At least I hope so. I would like to see it. The art, the game is very, very pretty. The little sort of pixely waves are quite pleasant. The little sort of island shape is very, very nice. The rotation of this beam is absolutely beautiful. And in terms of the art aesthetic, I think something that I particularly like to see is the way this beam of light moves around, the way it gets faster. It is, very, very pleasant, very, very enjoyable. Very, very smooth moving, nice sharp edges, all of that kind of stuff. I do love that. It could maybe have an effect after it where the tail has a little bit of a shimmer, just as it moves away, or maybe the head as well is kind of, like a gradient along the edge or something. That might be quite a nice effect to consider. but yeah, definitely not necessary. The sharpness is also quite pleasing. So yeah, the art is actually fine. I just wish the menus and things were a bit more themed, maybe made a bit smaller. Um, I don't know, reworked a little bit. There's a lot of information on the page that doesn't necessarily always have to be there in its entirety. So I don't know, maybe some UI design considerations there, but it's comfortable. It's comfortable to play. The full screen could be perhaps a bit bigger. I don't know. I don't know what the options there are like. Um, gameplay is fine. Like I said, there's no balance. It's very easy to get to a point where we've just kind of won the game, but which is again, it's important to say that's not a bad thing. It is nice to get to the point where you quote unquote win by just being utterly unkillable. Please try not to remove that from the game. Just make it harder to get there, so there's a bit more gameplay challenge. But this is a lovely state, a very satisfying state to be in. So you really do not want to remove that from the game. Yeah, gameplay feeling is very, very nice. And then in terms of the immersion, again, it's not really something for a game that's early in its life, and it's is for a game jam. But some more storyline behind it, some more motivation why we care about this lighthouse, why we're fighting so hard to protect it against these destructive waves. Maybe shift it into like demons that are attacking on a plane or something like that, rather than waves trying to grind it down. I don't know. It's a strange storyline. It's a bit weird. It is lovely. It is pleasing, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. So from the immersion, from the storyline, from the lore perspective, the game could do with some changing. So I would remake it to attacking demons from all directions, and this is a magical spotlight that destroys the demons or zombies or whatever. I know, yes, yet another demon/zombie game, but they're popular tropes for a reason. So that would be my suggestion there. As pleasing as it is, the idea of waves coming from all directions and the ability to kill them with light to make a light currency. Yeah, it doesn't make much lore sense, even though it is a pleasing game. And without sensible lore, there's nothing to kind of really drag the player in and make the player enjoy the experience and feel bound into the experience, feel immersed, feel like this is a cause that they are feeling satisfied for battling for. Yeah, and so that's it. I mean, again, I could continue sort of nitpick critiquing this for ages, but it's a fun game. It's a fun experience to come and play. I'm sure it will be balanced soon. Link is in the description. Come give the dev some love. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, and goodbye.